Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Ray, and this is the Know Nothings Podcast.
Number 59.
59. Man,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, getting up there. Getting close. There's a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
I know you don't like talking about politics, but we're going to have to because it's all politics right now.
Yeah, we could talk about my internet. We could talk about my trip to Lowe's this morning. Not Lowe's, sorry, Lowe's. My trip to Home Depot this morning, which was fantastic to get a new washer. That was quite an experience.
What happened?
Well, okay, so our washer broke because
I knew that yesterday.
when we wash clothes, we just jam as many clothes as possible into the drum and then turn it on and let it go. So after about 3 years of that, that washer had it.
Why take that approach? Why not a more conservative type approach?
I'm just saying this is what happened. So like, I go to Home Depot to buy a new washer. Well, they don't have any washers at Home Depot. You got to order every single one of them.
How's that possible?
I saw that online where they didn't have any. And I thought, oh, this is some kind of this is the glitch from like the whole world's glitching out right now.
We'll jump timelines. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but so I'm thinking, oh, okay, inventory stuff's messed up because they have 0 washers. So that's wrong. I'm gonna go. I'll just drive there 30 minutes
and get one
and buy one and put it in the back of my truck, bring it home. Have you help me get it out of the back of my truck. So I get there. And I walk in and I'm just standing there. I'm standing by the washers. I'm looking at them real hard. There's another couple in there. And the one guy's in a wheelchair with no legs. And they're looking for something. And I'm looking around and I'm like, well, there's 2 of us here now. Let me go see if I can wrangle up an employee that works here.
Because there's not going to be one there available, of course.
Yeah. Already 4 of them have walked past me while I'm leaning on the washer hey,
little help
here, and walked past these people that are waiting as well. So I go and walk about 3 aisles over. I go and I walk about 3 aisles over, and I see a lady, and she sees me, and I turn around and I'm gonna get some, and I turn back, and she's gone.
She's like, I'm about to do something.
I gotta get out of here. So she's gone. And then I find somebody else, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm in appliances. I'll come over. I was like, you're in appliances?
Yes.
And you're all the way over here in the wood section. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not being a Karen at all. I'm just trying to buy. I'm trying
to give you money.
I'm trying to give them $800 to get my clothes washed. I just want to go in, buy a washer, and get the hell out.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. So now I'm probably about. I said, could you help these people first? Because I'm not in a hurry. I wasn't in a hurry. I'm just aggravated that I've seen 15 employees and not a single one of them was like, can I help you?
Yeah, do you need anything? Yeah.
That's not how it is anymore whenever you go anywhere. That's why everybody wants to get everything on the internet. I would order one and have it delivered to my house, yes, but I need to wash clothes today.
Yeah.
So the lady's helping these people. Well, these people aren't sure.
Should have went to Skinnington or something. You'd have been in and out.
Oh yeah, probably. I should have done that because I ended up. She gets done with them. That was I'm serious. It was 20 minutes of them browsing with her.
I'd be just screaming on the inside.
Well, I'm screaming on the inside. On the outside, I'm like, no big deal.
I'm
super non. I'm playing really cool.
To get pushed, yeah.
So then I see the lady. She walks over to her station where she's, I guess, supposed to hang out and help people, and she takes a pill, takes a drink. She knows I'm there. She knows I'm sitting there waiting, because she on her way to help those people. I said, well, I want to buy one today, right now, and get out. And she goes, the only 2 we have for sale are the 2 in the front right there. So I was like, oh,
what
really?
What are the others for?
Order. They just order them online. They're like, you want this one? It'll be at your house. I said, I could have done that from
my house.
My house. Yeah. Why'd I come in here to see you?
What is this?
So
this is crazy.
They have 2 floor models.
Yeah.
Floor models. So I picked the best floor model, measure it so it'll fit. A little tight space back here. And I stand there and wait for. I see her. I go over to her, and I'm just super nice and nonchalant. And I'm just like, hey, I want to get the GE one. And she's like, okay, and I, pay for it and all that. And she's like, she's like, it's the 4 model, so I'm gonna have them wrap it in plastic. If you'll go out to the pickup spot, we'll bring it out to you. Well, I go out, pull around to that spot, sit there for 20 minutes, come back inside. They have it wrapped up and it's on there, and she's just standing there beside it. And I walk back in. I'm like, hey,
Well, my washer.
can like, what are we doing? It's been like 20, 25 minutes now. I'm in this.
You're now 45 minutes into this.
No, I'm an hour and a half into this experience.
Oh,
like I've been in the store. When I say before that these people were just like browsing, shopping with her, they ended up like over in cabinets, looking at cabinets, and
they were just spending the day at Home Depot having a day.
I said, just help these people first. I wish I would have just been like, I'm buying this one and I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, but I was being nice, and that's what I get for being nice. So, this guy comes out, whether we go outside, and they don't, and at Lowe's they have this really cool thing where it lifts up.
Home Depot you're at though, right?
Yeah, this is Home Depot. At Lowe's they have this really cool thing that I've seen where they put like a refrigerator or something like that on there, and it lifts up to the back of your truck,
like
and
a pallet jack,
and it pushes onto the back of your truck. They didn't have this. I had to help this guy that was 2 times taller than me pick up my washer and put it in the back of my 2500 pickup, which it's a little higher than a 15.
Yeah.
And I had no problem picking it up from years of weightlifting, used my legs, not my back. This guy who's like got me by like 1.5 feet, he almost drops the only one they have in the store that I want, and I like grabbed it and I'm like holding it while he's getting like, he's like, oh. Once he got it here, he couldn't get it up to the extra little nudge to get it on the thing.
What a wiener.
He almost dropped. He's way bigger than me. And I was like, God Lord. So then and not even helping me push it, it has these big rubber feet in the bottom of this thing for, whatever. You saw when we pulled it off the truck how grippy that was.
Yeah.
It took me. They'd like leave and just leave me to like grippy foot it back to the cab of my truck, and it was ridiculous. Like it was the dumbest time ever.
Never shop at Home Depot.
I'm never going back. I'm never going back to Home Depot.
You've sold me on not going back. That's terrible.
It was terrible, and if
And
one
it cost
person,
you $800.
yeah, and if one person would just been like, "Hey, can I help you with something?" That would have been fine. Not a single one did. And standing where you stand by the washers there and stuff, that's where they're all coming like out of the break room. I'm telling you, like 10 people walk past me. It's insane. I know I sound like what's the equivalent to a Karen or whatever, but sometimes you just want to buy something, get the hell out.
Is it a Ken?
A Ken?
Is it Ken? Is
that
that the male equivalent of a Karen, a Ken?
I don't know, but it was a experience altogether. It was just
Sounds terrible. That's why I like to stay home.
yeah.
Use it. That's why people are
That's
shopping.
why I stay at home.
You could have. Well, at least you got a washer though.
I did.
Now you got to get the thing hooked up. What are you gonna do with your old one?
I'm gonna fix it and sell it.
Just bring it up to like Shooter and Appliance or something, or one of those places, and they'll buy it for like $100 probably and fix it. And you want to fuck with it.
Yeah.
I would
There's
think.
there's a gnat or something.
I mean, you really want to like mess with a washer and fixing it and trying to get $150 and.
Oh, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm gonna hire somebody to fix it and then sell it.
What can you get for an old washer?
$200?
You think?
Who cares?
I don't think you can get $200.
You don't think I get $200 for that?
Mm-mm.
No.
I think you put it on Facebook Marketplace and people be like, "Will you take 20?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like gonna be like garage sale. Sell it. Appliances don't hold value very well.
I'll save it for my son I'll fix it and save it for him when he gets his own place.
You about to move out?
I don't know.
Yeah. If you don't know, that means no.
That means I don't know. Listen, no, are you about to move out?
Hell no. Why would I do that?
Why?
I'm with him. Like
Me too.
It's a good life.
Yeah, not bad.
Save your money.
What else? I've got. It's been. How long has it been since we've done one of these?
Not too long. Maybe a month, 3 or 4
Month?
weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I know I had my heart deal, and I was out for a month or so, and then we did one, and then
we did the one in the morning where I lost a bunch of money.
oh,
And I was aggravated, and I was like, "You got to come over. I got to talk about this."
Did you still hold on to the stock? Because you had a huge, like 6% run today.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, you sold it all?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I sold it and made different plays, and then
Yeah,
I made some money off of everyone suffering for the internet ordeal or the what was it, crowd?
Yeah, but not that 1,000 back.
No. Well, I'll never get back what I've lost.
Yeah. One day we might.
Maybe.
There's always hope.
So, hey, did you hear the president got shot?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, they got that.
Did you?
I heard something about that. Did that go on?
Yeah, did you hear something about that?
Wow. Did you see? I guess I already know the answer. You did not watch the congressional investigation today of the Secret Service director, right?
No, I did not.
It will make you seethe on the end. Like, it is so disturbing. Like, she doesn't know shit, won't answer shit, won't say shit, doesn't know when, doesn't know timelines, just needs more time to look into everything. No one's been fired, nothing's happened to anyone. Everyone, like, I've been a Trump hater since we started this thing. But,
Yeah.
Okay, but gross negligence is gross negligence. And I'm definitely not, and whatever Trump is, he ain't the Democratic Party, and they are a goddamn disgrace to mankind at this moment in time.
Oh my gosh.
And
Those are some strong words.
well, I have strong opinions.
Strong opinions.
But she sat up there in the congressional investigation, and I'm telling you, answered nothing. And they would be like, "What was the timeline? How long did y'all know he was up there?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know." They're like, "It's been 9 days. You're the director of the Secret Service. What do you mean you don't?" Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, all of them were like, they were all, I have to give them credit, they were like, "Hey, this whole investigation's completely unacceptable. Everything you're saying is unacceptable. All of your answers are unacceptable. You don't know anything." They're like, "Well, who's been fired?" "Well, no one's been fired." "How is that possible?" And then then it took a turn where they're like, "Why aren't you fired? Why haven't you resigned?"
Oh no.
Yeah,
Like, me?
Yeah, they're like, "Why haven't you resigned? This is like
I wasn't there.
beyond gross incompetence." Now, I know we love our conspiracies. You can't even tell me it's slightly conspiratorial to think that someone or something deeper is involved.
Right.
This 20-year-old kid gets on this roof, gets a shot at the president, he's walking around with a rangefinder. They know for an hour that he had a rangefinder. They're asking the director, they're like, well, when would you address something? She's like, "Well, when it's a threat." They're like, "Okay, when it's reported to you all that a dude's walking around with a fucking rangefinder at a President Trump rally, do you find is that a threat, or is that what's the other word? So basically, she doesn't deem that a threat.
Yeah.
That's not a threat. That's just I wish I could remember the exact verbiage, but it's completely absurd and ridiculous that you would say, "Yeah, it's not a threat when there's a dude with a rangefinder." What about when he's on the roof?
There wasn't a golf course nearby, was there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, did you think he was getting on the roof to golf? Look,
right.
What do you need a rangefinder at the rally for golf? He buys a box of ammo that morning. Of course, the weapon was his dad's, so it was obtained legally. But I need someone to explain to me how you let someone get a shot off in that environment. Man, I think they weren't planning on him. They were definitely planning on him being dead. That's why Biden's out of the race now.
Right.
They were thinking it would be,
Yeah.
"Oh, Trump's dead." Then that worries out. The Republicans would be scrambling trying to figure something out. Give the Dems trying to figure it out. Now they're like, "Oh shit, he lived." I'm not saying, I don't know if all the Dems know, and I don't know if all the Secret Service, I don't know any of that.
Powers that be.
Somebody knows something. This is complete horseshit. And anyone that sat up there and said, the people that said things like, "Oh, I can't, too bad he missed," like Kyle Gass, those are reprehensible people.
That is terrible.
That is,
which takes me into the greatest band on earth, Tenacious D. When Kyle said that bullshit on stage in Australia,
that's what I'm saying,
and it made me sad.
Yeah,
because I thought
you can't support that.
I can't support that. And Tenacious D has been like my favorite band for 20 some years.
Your favorite band?
Yes, they're the greatest band on earth. It's a joke, but they are awesome.
I know they have.
It's because Jack Black goes, "Tenacious D, greatest band on earth."
Yeah.
Like that. Like he says that to like everybody. But like the HBO specials and all that. I just, I thought that they were like, not they. I'm not going to put Jack Black in the same category as Kyle. I think Kyle just made a mistake.
Jack Black did he did like 2 days before that, he had that whole, when they told me Biden needed me, I was going to be there for my president.
Did he really?
Oh, just looked like a fool.
Well, I guess they're calling in the chips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're calling in the chips.
I say he looked like a fool. I mean, he got Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off at the convention. Like, did you see that?
I think that looks cool, brother.
I mean, it's kind of badass, but like...
No, that's cool, brother.
I like wrestling. There's just a time... I don't know. I'm just over the whole...
It's a circus.
I'm over the circus.
It's a circus
I'm completely... 100%.
Do you think it was like this when Woodrow Wilson was running?
I mean, I think it was dirty and disgusting and filthy.
Yeah.
Like, even in like the 1800s, they were like running stories about like, I think Thomas Jefferson's wife going to Paris to be a prostitute. Just a lot. They just make it up in their,
it's always been like that.
They're putting in the papers.
Well, didn't they make a bunch of laws where you couldn't even like take somebody on a voting line, like a bottle of water or chips, or you can't do anything for anybody standing in a voting line?
Well, no, because what's Pandora's box being open? Like, where does it stop?
Also, have you ever watched Kings of New York, where they would go get people to vote, and they would have them just go in there and vote a couple of times, and if they wouldn't go vote, they'd like beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And because there was like no way there wasn't back then. There was like nobody had like IDs and shit, and you would just go to voting things and vote, and then if you didn't go vote, they'd take the shit out of you.
The storyline for America has been crazy for 2024. But I'm just ready for some civility. I don't know if it's even possible at this point. Like, can we get civility in politics? Is that a thing that anyone? I don't ever remember it being civil or normal. I was calling it the WWE in like the 80s and 90s, but it's like beyond WWE now. It's like WWE meets the most absurd reality television show you can meet, meets a horribly written sitcom. All this just kind of rolled into one. I just want to get some. I just want to. Even if I know I'm being bullshitted, I just want to feel like there's somebody with some civility and Vance seems like that guy. He seems a little bit level-headed. Of course, he was a never. People are going to be like, well, he was a never Trumper, and now he's. I'm like, well, that's just politics.
Well, he wants to be vice president.
Yeah, but everybody talks shit about their opponents.
Everybody does. They all talk shit about each other, and
then they become friends.
Then they become friends once the party's like, okay, you're the guy, and they're like, oh, hey.
Like if we were in politics and you and I are running against each other, I've got to say terrible things about you.
Yeah, that's
like we can go out for drinks tonight, but and we just know that, like, hey, I had to talk shit about you in the debate. You were right there. I had to say, Mike's a weak man, a pathetic man.
He's a weak man who can't even get a washer off the back of a truck by himself. He had to have help.
Can't even move it with stoppers. I wouldn't have no problem with stoppers.
And meanwhile, why does Mike let his washer go out in the first place? What, he doesn't know how to maintain that? How's he going to maintain America?
What kind of man is he? Not the kind of man we want leading this country, I'll tell you that.
I also heard that he uses more than 2 pods when he washes clothes, and that's way too many. He's going to spend all your money.
Wasteful, and just filling up huge loads. Mm-hmm. Just a waste of water and resources. He doesn't care about the environment at all. Or
the machine. It just ruins everything.
He simply doesn't care. And if you think he cares about kids or the poor or the elderly, that's the way he treats his own washing machine?
Yeah. And have you heard the way that he acted at Home Depot?
Yeah.
That day? Oh my, what an asshole.
It went live. So that doesn't bother me that I'm not one of those people like, well, look what J.D. Vance said about Trump. I'm like, well, look what Kamala said about Biden.
Right. Yeah, I saw those. Yeah.
Look what Biden said about Obama. Like, you have to do that, which is gross in itself.
It's gross. Hey, the other thing is you also have to be polarizing to get votes from a certain group of people. So it's like you got to be like, even if you don't, I feel like they don't even believe in the shit. They're just like, okay, we did a poll and like most people want abortion rights to be in the states, or they want the government, they want to have abortion, they don't want it, or like all these issues. Then they go, and they stick their foot in the sand.
You can't really talk about the stuff that's boring and really moves things forward and really moves things along and any policies. You could have done 100 things that are like great policies and that really help. But nobody cares about that shit because it's kind of boring, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of boring. Mm-hmm. You have to find something, like you said, divisive. You got to find an angle that is, you got to be, but right now it's not even hard, right? Like you can just, Trump has such an advantage right now. You can just walk out there and talk about the terrible border policy, which is clearly terrible, right?
Right.
You can talk about inflation, which is clearly terrible, and all Americans can identify with those two things.
Mm.
And then when you're in the right setting, say you're at a church or you're talking to evangelicals, you can just harp on the abortion thing.
Yeah.
I killed Roe v. Wade. I did this. I put the justice in that brought Roe v. Wade back to the states, but the way you'll frame it when you're talking to evangelicals is that I killed Roe v. Wade. The way you're talking when you talk to moderates is I'm the one that said Roe v. Wade should be given back to the states. It's all in the semantics on how you frame it.
100%.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing in the news, and it's so aggravating to me.
The news is possibly more aggravating to me than politics.
The news headlines try to trick you into, because they want you to click on it first of all. So it'll be may or may not have been or did, and it's just like, what is this thing saying?
Okay, when CNN was reporting that Trump fell at the rally, and there was some loud noise.
Right.
What the fuck are you talking
about?
It was a goddamn camera that caught the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just saying Trump miraculously survived an assassination attempt, which is what happened.
There were some loud noises. Trump fell.
He fell on the ground, probably. Oh, how about my favorite? Did you see? I know you saw this when they were trying to equate Biden having COVID to
surviving an assassination.
They're giving Trump credit for being tough for getting up after that assassination attempt. But if Joe Biden has COVID right now and he survives the COVID, isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the same level of bravery? This was that Joy with Joy Reid bitch. I was
ridiculous.
like, this bitch is out of her mind.
Dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Out of her fucking mind.
The other thing where people are like, those pictures where the American flag's behind him and all that, and he's like, that's gotta be, this whole thing had to be staged to get those pictures, and it's like, no, there's like a ton of camera people everywhere, and as soon as something happens, it's like a journalist's dream to be in the forefront of anything that's going on that's making history. This has made history. This is a huge deal.
It was staged. It was set up and staged by the Secret Service and the deep state.
Right, and not Trump.
And you can call me crazy if you want to. I don't give a shit. Like you either have to admit that it was staged, or you have to say, the Secret Service is the most incompetent group of Barney Fifes that have ever existed in any kind of protection.
And here I was just talking about how badass they were. Like, I saw this thing where they drive the car backwards and flip it around, and they're trained, and they're like an elite group of people. And then there's like this lady who can't even get her holstered gun out, in, and out and in. And I'm like, dude, I can get a holster. I can stick my gun in a holster that's in the side of my inseam faster than she could do it 3 times looking at it, and she couldn't even get it in.
And
I was like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it. The funniest thing was that the meme that has that lady and then the Pat from SNL to the side, because it's so funny.
If there's ever been, if you needed more proof that DEI is a joke, we gotta. I know if I'm running for president, I'm sorry, I don't want a bunch of 5'4", 126-pound women protecting me. I'm sorry. I want 6'3" fucking alpha males.
Yeah.
That are killers.
Yeah.
That's
killers.
what
I want guys that jump and break things.
I want people who are like snipers, SEALs, Rangers, like those type of cats. And bigger than me.
Yes.
Like,
I saw the one picture where the Secret Service has jumped on him, and then there's the lady behind him, and she's like crouched way.
She's like
hiding. She's hiding. Your job is to take a bullet. You know this.
But when the shit got real, she was like,
oh man, she got tiny.
That was ridiculous. I've never seen more gross incompetence than that until I saw the director do the congressional hearing.
What is going on?
She is a DEI bullshit, a bunch of wild progressive policies that we've all fallen victim to.
You remember the Joe Rogan the bit from years ago, like 5 years ago maybe, where remember the guy that like ran into the White House and got over the fence, ran through the yard, opens the door, and the person guarding the door was a 5'4" lady, and he was just like,
yeah,
and then he ran through the White House, and he's like, Joe Rogan's bit is where he's like, I'm gonna do this, fuck my ex-wife, fuck everybody, I did And he like runs and jumps over the fence. He's like, why am I not dead? Why am I not dead? Open the door. There's the lady. Wham! Why am I not dead? Why am I not dead? And then they get him. And then later,
they didn't kill him. Right?
They didn't kill him.
Yep.
Later, they find his car, and he has like 500, 600 rounds of ammunition in his car. A map of Washington D.C. with an X on the White House. And then the FBI says their mantra. And what is the FBI's mantra? He was on our radar.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they always say. Well, he was on our radar. And I understand that they're not like precogs from that Minority Report movie where
you
can't arrest people. But I mean...
And you can't catch everything, but you
can't catch everything, but geez, their mantra is...
You cannot have
he was on our radar.
You cannot have 5'4" women in those positions. And it's so controversial to say shit like that.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
I'm 5'11", and if I'm a criminal and I want to mow over a lady that's 5'4", I'm 264 pounds. I'm going through you. You may get some shots off into me, but I'm coming through.
And she's going to be scared to death.
Well, maybe. I mean, she may be a killer.
Dude, she's going to be scared. Look, you saw it in real time. You saw that she was one's crouching down, one's so scared, and then one's just like, I don't know what to do. Let me put my sunglasses on.
Oh my God. The sunglasses on and off thing is the most dumbest thing. Oh my God. It's like, let's make sure we look cool.
You know what that is? It's nervous energy. When you're scared and you don't know what you're in a situation, you don't know what you're just like, holster the weapon.
Do I need my gun?
Yeah, you need your gun.
You need your gun. I thought that like one of the coolest parts that like when they started taking the pictures, when everybody jumped on him, that dude in the front with the I don't know what kind of gun it was, I don't know what they used, but you know, like an assault rifle. He like runs up and he's like on the side. And he's like doing his job because he like yells at the people with the like taking pictures of it. He's like get back. Yeah. And they were like whoa, and they get back and then he turns around and then they just go right back in. They just go right back up there. But he was like get back and they were like oh.
What was the most shocking? The crowd was, they ducked down and stuff. Then you saw the woman behind Trump when he gets shot, who's like pulls her like. Did you see that?
Where she doesn't
pulls her
react.
Camera like this, like right before, and she's like clink, and then when it happened, she's like, She barely even
the black hat. The lady in the black hat.
Like, not nervous at all.
No, I will tell you this: people were like. Those people weren't reacting, but a lot of them did. But here's the thing: what you can't tell, and what you could tell from the pictures later, is those people are like 50 feet behind him. They're the way the camera's set up. It looks like they're
right next,
10 feet behind him. They are not. They're 50 feet behind him. They're farther from Trump than the people in the front row are.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
But on camera, it looks like they're right there. There's some kind of, I don't know why, I don't know if they're doing something or if that's just what it looks like. But there's a whole green grass area, and they actually have speakers so you can hear Trump behind them because they're 50 feet back. And that's why, like, I think some people were like, what's going on? And he jumped down and, like, and then they were like, oh, because they're 50 feet back. They're far.
Yeah, and you're probably not expecting an assassination attempt. When it happens so quick, it's boom, 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 boom.
That's why, like, when people react to things that happen, like, you see something completely out of the ordinary, and you don't react at all. Like, it's a normal thing to, like...
It might be later, driving home, where you're like, holy shit.
It like, what's the thing where, like, you almost get into an accident, you're like, holy shit, and then you start to shake... After the fact.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing, like if you saw a plane crash, you'd be like, holy shit. You just stand there and like,
then go,
you're trying to like process something you've never seen before.
For sure.
And I think that's kind of like what happened to a lot of those people. Now, people that have had a little bit of training or police officers or whatever, when they hear that sound, they go down. It's funny too that most white people go, hey, what's going on over here? Yeah. Instead of like it's always white people that are like, I think I heard some gunshots over here. What are you doing over here? Instead of running, because I would be running.
You think maybe you don't know what you do. You maybe turn to a white person.
I don't know. I've seen enough of this shit that I think I'd run my ass off.
But what about all the people on the ground yelling to the secret? Hey, there's a guy on the roof. Hey, there's a guy on the roof. Hey, there's a guy on the roof.
It's messed up.
You're going to try to gaslight me into believing that I'm crazy for thinking this is some kind of conspiracy? Because it obviously is.
Right. And what's the other weird thing about the guy that shot him was they kept showing that picture of him when he was in elementary school, and not the picture of him with the little girly choker on his neck and him kind of dressed up girly. They didn't show that. They kept showing him from him being in you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that picture of him? The current picture where he's like kind of effeminately looking.
Well, they would never want
a little choker on his neck. Because they tried to sell it to where he was a Republican because he was of the Republican Party.
Plus, you could never, ever, ever, ever frame somebody in the LGBTQI community as somebody that does something like this, right? True. You can't do that. Like, they just doesn't fit the narrative.
That doesn't fit the news narrative at all.
It doesn't fit their narrative. And if you tell me there's not a narrative, you're full of shit. Just like they tried to gaslight us for 4 years saying that Biden's fine. So every Republican and independent, I hated Trump, I hated Biden, but it's obvious that Biden's not mentally there. And you're trying to tell us that we're all crazy. They're doing interviews where like, oh man, the hardest part about a meeting with Biden is you have to have all your stuff together, man. You got to have all your details because he's so detailed. He really digs in. He really dives deep. You better make sure and you're just sitting there going, there's no way.
Come on, man.
There's no way that you believe this. But they lied to us for 4 years, and then when it comes to the debate, and it's obvious that he's.
I'm going to take you out back and punch you in the face.
I wish we were in high school.
You don't like my policies.
Take you around the barn.
Come on, man.
And they were selling us that we were all crazy, that we're just all right-wing lunatics. I'm like, well, I'm not a right-wing lunatic. I'm looking at what is obviously.
I'm not a right-wing lunatic, but I do like Trump.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
But I do.
I'm looking at but you don't like anybody else like Trump.
I don't like anybody else like Trump.
You're just like the one you're just like so many Trump voters. There's one person in your life that has that kind of behavior that you allow.
There's
no one else gets in your orbit like that. No one else gets around. Anybody else like that, you're like, fuck that narcissistic douche. Okay. But this one guy I really love because he's funny.
I'm just really down with the policies. That's it.
Well, you said you like him.
Him as a person?
You said you liked him.
Let's do okay, so here's a funny little thing I did. Mm-hmm. Okay, I looked up all of the presidents that are related, and there's
all of them but Trump.
No, there's more. All of the presidents that are related can go back to England, and there's a couple that don't. And I looked them up. Two of them one of them was assassinated, and the other one was almost assassinated this past week.
Trump and Kennedy?
Yeah. And then there's other ones, and I think they're all Democrats, but they're like the 14th president. So Woodrow Wilson,
that aren't related.
They're all not.
Don't they all descend from England?
Not all of them.
I mean, all the ones that aren't these 3 or 4.
Right. They do. But I looked up to see, and it's funny because like I looked them all up, Wikipedia, looked every one of them up, and it was like Democratic Party, was the, whatever president, was a lawyer, mostly it starts with lawyer, went to this school, Democratic Party, against slavery during the time, was all this stuff, and it kept saying, and then it gets to Trump, and they don't say anything on Wikipedia, and you got to scroll down to see, like, the first paragraph. So like you get all these accolades from everybody else, and then on Wikipedia, and then when you look up Trump, he doesn't even come up first thing on Wikipedia. Every single president I put into Google on my phone popped up Wikipedia first thing, ready to click on. Woodrow Wilson,
Trump, there's so many more stories being ran that are bigger on Google.
I'll give you that. Okay, so then you click on Wikipedia, and instead of it giving his accolades right out of the gate, it just says, is an American politician, media personality, businessman who served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021. That's it. That's all they say.
That's the whole Wikipedia?
No, it's not. Then you have to scroll down. But in the other ones for the presidents, it
gives all their accolades.
It gives their accolades first,
Yeah.
before it does the summary of that.
Right.
So it's kind of on purpose.
Well, even
because he's always hated them.
So look, even let me be clear.
But
even as a Trump hater, because I truly am independent, I can see if you can't see the media bias against Trump, you're just trying to not see it.
I feel like
it's so obvious.
Yeah,
it's so out front.
And I feel like
obvious.
Wikipedia kind of scoffs it a little bit too.
And I don't do that to him because there's a lot of policies. Well, that's a good policy. There's some policies I agree. I even voted for the guy in 2020. I thought he was a better option than Biden, and turns out I was right.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like in the Wikipedia thing, is that his father named him president of his real estate business in 1971. None of the other ones say anything about what their father did for him. You know, it's kind of scoffs him in here.
That's what they
do. That's what they do, and it aggravates me.
And I could see if I was a partisan, I could see that really pissing me off because it kind of pisses me off, and I don't like him. So imagine if I did love him.
Right.
Like I can see why you guys would be pissed off because it's an obvious.
Well, I mean, I'm not hitting the streets for him. I just feel like I vote for him because of where I'm at. And where
everything we've seen, that's what I think everybody's doing, right? I mean, that's where
the businesses that are congruent with the businesses that I work for are. It's good for Trump to be in office.
Yeah.
Is it good for everyone? No, probably not. But I mean, it might be.
It's better. It may not be good for everyone, but I think it's probably better. It's better than this lunatic progressive shit. That's just it. It's too. The far left and the far right are both crazy. The problem is the far left, when they get control, they put in far left policies. It's like the far left are the puppet masters. But on the right, you're kind of forced to be a little bit more moderate.
Right.
It's not like they're going and putting in wild evangelical policies. You know, they're just kind of pandering to them to get their votes and then whatever.
Right. And then like what is it? Project 25?
Which has nothing to do with Trump. So
be fair about it.
Be fair about it.
Some of my friends were like freaking out about it, and I went and read it. I was like, well, did you read about it? No. Okay, well, I'm going to go read about it. I read I was like, oh, this is like a hard
the Heritage Foundation.
Christian
from the Heritage Foundation
think tank.
Yeah.
That all they do is think about how they can make America like
Nazi Germany,
Protestant Christian.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like just like, okay, no abortions, no, and gay people shouldn't have any rights. And I was like, and my friends, like I have a couple friends that were just like, this is fucking crazy. And I was like, this is never going to happen. They can't take away.
Tell them to go to
those rights.
Tell them to go to like a far left website and look at their agenda. That doesn't mean it's going to be the Democrat, although it could be because they do follow those puppet masters.
Do go pretty
but
far.
Trump has if you go to his website, he lays out his vision for America. Be fair about it. Like
he do they still call him tweets on X? What do they call him? Did he
X's?
Did he X?
The X's? I don't know what they call them.
Anyway, he said that he was like the Project 25. I'm not with this, but good luck with that. Is what he said basically on his tweet. He said good luck with that.
Yeah.
And then people twist his words like he said good luck with that. He means no. He's a smartass. He was like good luck with all that.
Yeah.
Because it's like
because
dumb.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's the gaslighting the media does.
Mm-hmm.
They've lied about this man so much to the point that even my hatred just gets less and less because I've watched them lie for 8 years. They lied about Russia collusion. It's a total horseshit.
And that's on the Wikipedia site too. It still says that he won on the. You can. I don't know who can.
Anyone.
I can't.
Yeah, you can. You can log in. You can get in there and.
But it says that was real. It says on the Wikipedia site that he won because there was Russian collusion.
You can
somebody changed it.
You can go change it for like an hour because.
Then somebody will change it.
Yeah, somebody from the who represents it will change it right. But you can get access some kind of way because I used to be on all these music forums and people would go in and they'd log into people's Wikipedia pages and be like, it'd be like Dave Mustaine, and in the middle of like the paragraph it'd be like. He's a whiny bitch who always cries about being kicked out of Italian. Like, that can't be his official. And then, like, the next day...
Signed James Hetfield.
Yeah. Lars is gay. Lars. James is... Have you heard that? You haven't heard that?
No.
Somebody made up. It's like I guess it's like a meme song, but it's to a Metallica beat, and it's like James singing, and he goes, Kirk is gay. Lars is gay. Robert gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And James is gay. So funny. I think that's the whole song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all like it's like a 10-second meme, which is the best ones.
While we're in good spirits, I'd like to our old sponsor that came back, Roto Wipe. Roto Wipe.
Say goodbye to costly toilet paper. Get you right up there in the rear. Turn.
Just get right on that. Look at this thing.
Got some dingleberries that'll clear that right out of there.
They gave me and Ray 2 of these to try out, and I just will tell you, after about a week of grinding on your rear end, you develop like calluses down there, so it doesn't hurt anymore.
Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, it works really good.
I was always, I'm a big bidet guy though. Are you a bidet guy?
I'm a big bidet guy. I
haven't bought toilet paper for myself in like 5 years.
Well, here's the thing. John, who
shout out to John who sends us these.
No, I bought you that one.
Look, John bought us that one.
John bought me this one. I bought you that one for your birthday this time. And then I wrote a song about it because John was aggravated. You didn't say thank you to him, so I wrote a song about it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that intro of that song when it's just John's voicemail.
Yeah,
to me.
it's John's voicemail. Right? Yeah, he left it to you. And the intro is John like, Ray, I gave you this gift and you didn't thank me. It's like a whole thing. It's pretty funny. But so I got you one, and then you left it at my house. So now I have to do a part 2 of that, where I'm like, Ray, I got you this gift, and you left it at my house. In the beginning
should
of
I
the
take them or leave them here for the podcast?
Take them home, man. Put them in your office.
I'll take them
Put
home.
them up. Look, some people say it's like heresy to take them out of the boxes, but I take them out. I took my Harry Potter one out of my box, and I put it in my computer because I was playing Harry Potter at the time on my computer.
I love Iron Maiden and I love these pops.
I put it inside my. Well, there's like a couple more of these Iron Maiden ones. There's like a whole set you can get.
Well, Eddie changes whatever the album is. That's what Eddie is. So when it's like Rom the Ancient Mariner, he's that. If it's like
this one's really cool.
That's the Number of the Beast.
I had to get you the Number of the Beast because it's cool.
Is that's the form you got? Have you ever seen Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
You've seen
them
not
live.
Oh,
no, I've seen them on the internet. Why would I go live anywhere? I have the internet.
Iron Maiden's a different type of experience.
Do they still play?
Oh my god.
Oh, well, then we're going.
They play mega monster.
Are we gonna go fly to England and see them next year?
I don't know, but you know that Bruce Dickinson flies the band, right?
No.
He sings and fronts the band, and then he's
Live After Death. Eddie is really cool.
Really cool. And then Bruce Dickinson is the captain. So when he get done with the show,
he flies them.
He owns the plane, flies the plane, plays the concert, flies them to the next concert.
This guy's living his life.
It's also like an Olympic.
He doesn't get like fucked up then.
No, at all.
He can't.
He doesn't at all.
He can't do that.
He's also like an Olympic level fencer, a children's book, author.
He's a Renaissance man.
He's like a martial artist, like multiple black belts. But yeah, he pilots the plane to every gig. In this huge Iron Maiden 747.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's totally
awesome. That
is
awesome.
Imagine playing like
that dude's a beast.
And he's playing 3-hour gigs in his 60s. Play a 3-hour gig, then fly the plane?
Yeah, I ran a mile yesterday without stopping in 14 minutes. I'm doing pretty good.
It's pretty badass too. I'm still not running. I'm running like 3 miles. I'm running like 2 to 3 miles, but most of it is. I'll walk like 2 minutes, run like 2 minutes, walk like 2 minutes.
You got to come to the track to me down here at Tech, and what I do, I'll run them. I'll either be like, okay, today I'm gonna run a mile and see where I'm at, and like the funny thing is like I start running after I've been running for like over a week and a half. The first 15 steps, I'm like, oh, this feels awesome, and then like the next day, it's like 20 steps. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and then I'm like, oh shit, and it gets easier and easier.
That's what I do. Couch to 5K. You ever done that? So couch to 5K, like on the first. So I'm actually on my last. The next run I do will be my last one for level 9, and then I move up to level 10. But you go to, so the first day, you just hit start. It's like 25 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. You'll walk for 5 minutes, then it'll say run for 30 seconds. You'll run for 30 seconds, and you'll walk for 3 minutes, and then run for 30 seconds. The next day... That's
kind of like what I do, like I was about to tell you. I finished that, but I just want to tell you, you come to the track, I like walk the turns, mm-hmm. and then on the straights, I sprint. Yeah. And I like sprint, and then walk, and then sprint, and then walk, and then sprint, and I can actually get like a 13-minute mile doing that.
Well, it's the same principle. So like on day 2, so day 1 you ran for 30 seconds. Day 2, Instead of walking for 3 minutes, you walk for 2 minutes and 45 seconds and run for 45. Day 4,
That's a lot of math.
it does it for you. It just says.
Sweet.
It just
Is
says.
there an app?
Yeah, there's an app.
Oh, I need
like
to download
watch
that app. I want to do it.
when you get the app.
Yeah.
I'll show you how it works. So like you go right here, couch to 5K,
Uh-huh.
boom, sure. See, I'm at 92%. So I'm sorry, I lied. I'm at level. I'm
5K. How long is a 5K?
3.2 miles. So
Okay.
this month I've run 37.19 miles.
Okay.
My farthest is 2.47 miles. But when you hit start, well, I can't do it because
Don't do it now.
But if you hit start, it'll just start a timer, and it just says walk.
It says walk.
and then it goes run, and it encourages you too. It's like somebody the app talks to you. It's like when you get like 12 minutes into it, and they know you're tired because you've had like 7 runs.
12 minutes. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you know, right now I'm to the part where like I'll walk for 30 seconds, run for 3 minutes, walk, run for 3 minutes, and you by about the third time they know this guy's ran for 9 minutes straight. They're like, "Come on, you can do it. You're doing great. You're doing great. Halfway there, past halfway there. Here we go." So
Thanks.
and you can pick your character. Like you can pick like a drill sergeant, or you can pick like a sweet lady, or you can pick somebody from England. You can pick who's going to encourage you. Like the drill sergeant, just like
Listen up,
get your ass up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I have a sweet lady who's she's like a middle-aged lady.
Like your mom.
Yeah,
like you get your mom, and she's
Yeah.
like, Mikey, go ahead and run now, Mikey.
That's exactly it. She goes, "Oh, you're
Like,
doing,
I'm gonna run for my
you're
mom.
doing good." And then when you finish, it asks you, "How did you feel?" And you can like pick an emoji on how you feel. If you feel super, they know like, "Oh, this was easy for him,"
I feel super.
and they up it. If you pick like, "Oh, I feel very tired and discouraged right now," they're like, "Okay." well,
See,
we'll
this
just
is where
redo it.
I lie to it. I'm like, I feel fine, asshole. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fucking talk to me like that, dickhead. See, I would put it on the one that's like, hey man, you piece of shit. You need to run now.
That's the drill sergeant.
You fat piece of shit, run.
Yeah, the drill
God
sergeant.
dang, can you run faster than that?
Yeah.
What is your problem?
That's what.
And I'll be like, fuck you, I'm running, man.
Yeah,
That's me.
So pick the drill sergeant. I did it before last summer, and I picked the drill sergeant. I was like, oh, that was fun, but I was like, I know, I'm self-motivated enough. If it says run for 3 minutes, even if I'm tired, I'm gonna run for 3 minutes because that's what the program calls for, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't run for
I
I don't run for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It says run for 3 minutes. I'm running for 3 minutes, regardless of how I feel. So it doesn't. So I never really.
That's 3 minutes isn't bad.
No.
I mean, I ran the other day, like for the first time.
We can go do it when we get done if you want to.
First,
You
but
feel-
I'm drinking. I've been.
We can
I've been drinking on this 15
We
year.
can go hit
finish.
Let's
do it in the morning.
Level 8. Can't in the morning, but we'll get it together.
No, when I say morning, I mean like 5:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'm already up for 2 hours by then.
Really? You get up that early?
Yeah,
You get up at 3:30
I
in
go
the
to work
morning?
at 5. So a lot of times we start working at 6 a.m.
Are you serious?
Well,
Man, I thought. Oh well, then now I got to get up earlier than you. Now
Yeah,
I thought I was the person
I wake up
that
at
got
4.
up earlier than
I'm
everyone
gone.
else.
I'm gone from the house by 4:30 a lot of days.
What time do you go to bed?
On those days, like which I only probably have to get that early. Honestly, like twice a week, I only get up that early. But
Yeah.
rest of the day, I would wake up like at 7.
I usually get up at 5:30 every day.
Yeah.
But
I go to bed at 9-ish.
everybody that I deal
I go to bed at
with
9-ish.
is on the East Coast, so my 5:30 is 6:30. So like I
They're
lose an
already rolling.
hour,
They're already
and they're
rolling.
rolling. They're truck drivers. They're rolling. You know, except the lazy ones.
Yeah, by 6:30, you probably, if you're a truck driver by 6:30, you're probably cranked up and going though, huh?
The way I used to do it, if it worked out that way, is I would get loaded the night before and then leave at 3 o'clock in the morning to avoid traffic in Atlanta.
I love traveling like that because I'll tell you why. Like if I'm going on vacation, if you can get up
Leave
at
at
like
3 in
if
the
you get up at 3 or 4, I can't with a wife, but if you can get up at 4 or 5 and get, or even 6 and get going, it's like noon. The day feels like it's just starting, and you've already covered like 300 miles.
Oh yeah, that's why
You're like we're almost to Florida, baby.
When I was driving truck, that's why I got up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and started driving, because once you're driving at 2, 3 in the morning, you get to 7 o'clock and you're like, man, I'm already where I'm supposed to be, and like the whole day,
the
and then you
whole
can
day
drive.
in front of me. That's
It was awesome.
that's why I like getting. Even when I'm off, like today I'm off, I still got up at 6.
Yeah. I always get up even when I'm off. I don't sleep in. Every now and then I'll sleep in a little bit, but I just do what my body tells me to do.
Yeah.
Like if my body says sleep in, I sleep in.
Don't you find as you've
Not a
aged,
lot.
as you've gotten to your mid 40s, I guess you're not in your late 40s yet, but if you've gotten in your mid,
I'm steadily right in the middle.
Dead center.
45, dead center.
So next year,
It's July, dead center.
Next year you start your late 40s.
Yeah.
But have you noticed once I hit about 37, like sleeping in was just gone. There's no like sleep until
There's
10.
no sleep until 10.
I love it. When I was in my 20s, I'd be like, oh, I'm off tomorrow. I'll sleep till noon. I mean, I can just sleep.
Dude,
that shit cannot happen.
When I was in the band, we were up all night. We sleep till 3 o'clock, 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's a different life. That's a whole different lifestyle.
And I couldn't do that now. If I was in a band now, it's like I get up in the morning and I write music at 8 o'clock in the morning instead of midnight.
Yeah,
when we're just getting started.
But that's
it's way better in the morning.
But that's the way to get successful. That like all the members of Sabbath always talk about when they turned the corner, when they got successful, is when Tony Iommi had left Black Sabbath and joined Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
And then he quit Jethro Tull to come back to Sabbath, but because Sabbath was still Earth at the time. They were doing the same thing up till 3 or 4 in the morning, sleeping till 3 o'clock. And Tony got with Jethro Tull. What he figured out was, no, guy. He came to all of them. He said, no. He said, these guys start work at 9 o'clock. That means 9 o'clock, you're fucking plugged in, you're recording. He said, and you work from 9 to 5. That's when you write, record.
I love that.
And they were like, when Tony forced us to do that and none of us wanted to do that, that's when we got great.
Right.
Because he's like, no. It's 8 hours of work. We take a lunch break. We come back. We work.
I love that.
And at 5 o'clock, you call it, you call it. And then when you have a gig, you're already in that mode.
Music dudes around town, like I'm like, hey, to come over and record. They're like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, well, they didn't come. And then they call me, and it's like 9 p.m. I'm like, dude, I'm going to bed in like an hour. That needs to be earlier than that. We ain't doing that right now.
And it's also Eminem was another one. I was watching some of his producers. I was watching an interview with them. They're talking about Eminem. They said he'll come in. He'll like comes in at 9 and it's work. He like gets stuff done, and they're like, holy shit. And they said you could be dead in the middle of something and it'd be like 5 o'clock. He's like, all right guys, I'll see y'all in the morning. They're like, what? We're not going to work all night? It's like, I'm going home and I'll be back in the morning and we'll knock all this out. We got 8 hours of work done. And the same thing with Sabbath when Naomi was like, no, y'all want to get in the studio at midnight, get high, get fucked up, fuck around till 4 in the morning.
Do a pound of cocaine and then could be like, oh, maybe tomorrow.
And then we end up writing half a riff. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you get up in the morning and drag your ass up into the fucking studio and work.
I watch these guys that play all this really technical 7/8 string metal stuff with all this stuff, and like there's no way they're drinking and doing drugs while they're doing that. These guys are like,
they're working
so on point and working, and
it's a myth that really like that's it's
it's a myth, and
but a lot of musicians fall into it thinking they're going to need to be part of the myth, right? Like, that's not how you get good.
It's kind of a fault, like a step where you step and fall because you're like, yeah, we're in a band, we party and blah blah blah, and it's like at those levels you're working, you're working your ass off. It's like Motley Crue might be the exception to that, just because they came into a sound and just did what they did, and they partied their asses off and did that, and they had wranglers that like shoved them onto planes and like locked them in their hotel rooms, like because they were making so much money for people.
Well, that's not to say there's not a bunch of wildness that goes on, but for the most part, to be successful and maintain success, there's got to be like this huge level of work and like a schedule and like a regimented form to how you do things.
Yeah, like everybody wants to think like Nirvana was like, oh, it just accidentally
doing heroin all night,
and it happened to him. No, it doesn't seem like so. Like at those levels, like they were kind of the poster. Kill the 80s, and now it's this new thing. But they did do, like, he did do a lot of heroin. He did have his daughter taken away from him, and they did like live. They were multi-millionaires living in, like an apartment doing heroin with their daughter. Like that whole documentary and all that. But the dude sat down and wrote a bunch of music, and then they'd go in the studio and have these amazing songs they did.
You got to hash it out at some point.
You got to hash it out at some point.
The work has to be done.
Yeah.
But there is fun. That is why people want to be. But I think people realize that like you can't just party all the time and be a rock guy and never like write music and do shit like. Right. It's a fun fantasy when you're 22 to think like that's how it's like. And it's also like,
well, it's like this when KWB, when we signed the deal, and everybody was like, oh shit, we're the shit. I was like, well, no, now's the time we got to get to work.
Now's where the work.
I said, we got to prove ourselves now. There's money involved.
It's like making the NFL or making a Division I college. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I made it. You made it where you can start working now.
Now I'm thinking I'm not good enough on guitar to do this, so I need to go find somebody to teach me the guitar better, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been like pulling this out of my ass the whole time, and people love it. So I don't know. I'm not good enough to be on this next level.
But there's probably a million people. I mean, almost everybody that's ever been signed is kind of like that. Like, because I mean, usually it's like young guys, energetic, with good sound that kind of hit into like, oh, they don't really know what they're doing yet.
Well, I don't know if this is true or not. This is what I've always heard, and about like Puddle of Mud, who is from,
who's just a train wreck of a band,
kind of from this area, right?
Yeah.
They're from Louisiana.
I think
Texas,
that
Louisiana.
West guy's a train wreck.
But I always heard back then that when they signed the band, they just fired everybody except for him, and then got all new people to play.
That happens a lot. That's why somebody needs to be like, no, my buddies are playing with. You got to have some integrity there. Like,
but you get in the studio and they're like, "Get-a-little-doo," and then like on Wayne's World 2, where they get in the studio and the guy's like, he's a garage he's a garage band guitarist, and like the producer's like playing the guitar and showing him how to play the lick, and he's like, I can't do it. Yeah, it's like, oh, we got to get rid of these guys. Yeah, we got to get somebody that knows how to do this shit. But that's when your lead singer, whoever's the guy that's like the guy, needs to go, no, these are my boys. This is our band.
This is a band. We're doing this together. We're going to learn together. On the other misconception is like, oh, this band came out of nowhere. It's usually like a 5 or 7 year deal, and then you hear about them and you think they came out of nowhere.
No, overnight success. They just bought the amps last night. Yeah. No, like White Zombie. White Zombie toured in a van together for 10 years doing that, and everybody for 10 years was like, these guys are fucking stupid. And then when 1991, 92 rolled around, everybody was like, fucking awesome. But in the 80s, they were all going, dun 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 dun, and he was like, and it didn't fit at the time, but they were getting their live stuff down and getting used to getting their chops down, and then it hit, and it seemed like it was overnight. But it wasn't, because they were in a van for 10 years, and people were talking shit about them for 10 years, like, this is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it's the whole, like, Ask Sabbath, like, how'd y'all do your debut album in 12 hours? Because that's the whole thing. Like, they did that debut album, which is monumental, in 12 hours. Can I guess what they said? What? Can I guess? Yeah. They go, we've been doing this for 10 years. These songs we've been writing for 10 years. That's exactly what they said. Well, we had played every one of those songs sometimes 3 times a night for 3 fucking years. Yeah. We had done literally 2,000 gigs of just these 8 songs. So yeah, we got in the studio. They were one takers because we were like, we just played them. Yeah. That's why the sophomore record of any band is so hard, and it's so proving. Because the sophomore record's the proof. Yeah. You had your whole life to write the first one. Whole life to write the first one. You had 10 years to write the first one. Then you make it. And then it's like sophomore effort. Give me another one in 6 months. You're like, oh, what? Give me 10, 12 songs in 6 months. And you're like those songs we just wrote for 10 years on the road? Yeah. All right. And that's why sophomore albums are hard. Oh, man. You know, and I know this. I know you think this is ridiculous. I know you think this comment's ridiculous, but I think Bush is like one of the greatest bands. I love Bush. I think Bush is great. I love Bush. I don't put them on the level. They're not like Led Zeppelin, but I mean, they're really good. They're really good. I like Bush a lot. When they put out that album, like not this last one, but the one before that, and the next one was pretty good, but the one before that, it was so good. These dudes, they were like 50. I saw them live. It was so good. I saw them live in 2016, and it was amazing. What album was it? No, it wasn't. What album was out in 2016, 2017, somewhere around that era? I don't know, but the one that came out like in 2021. Man, they were amazing. It's amazing. But I'm a Bush fan. I mean, I'm not a Bush hater. Yeah. You like Bush? I like Bush. Yeah, but I just don't. I don't have them in like my top 15. Not top 50. I wouldn't say my top 50. Okay. All time. Real quick. Oh God. Real quick. top 3 guitarists of all time, off the top of your head.
Tony Iommi, Richie Blackmore, Dave Mustaine.
Wow, it's pretty good.
That's the 3 best. It's not pretty good. It's the 3 best.
Tony Iommi is number 1.
Numero uno.
What about Eddie Van Halen?
He's not Tony Iommi.
Yeah, he's not.
Nope. I'll die on that hill. Tony Iommi influenced every single person under the age of 70 that has played a hard rock lick since 1968. And has wrote more memorable riffs than anyone on earth.
Okay.
So underrated.
Okay.
And can solo and can do it all.
What about Jimi Hendrix?
He's fantastic.
But learn from Tony Iommi?
No, they're about the same time period.
Yeah.
I mean,
different style.
Totally different style. Different style. Tony Iommi invented.
But that's
invented.
Why I love the.
But I love Hendrix. No, Hendrix is in my top 10. But
why I love the top 3 best guitarists of all time is because it's definitely very biased on who you listen to or what you think is guitar work.
Yeah.
And if you ask guitarists that, or if you ask people that don't play guitar, it's sometimes different, sometimes the same, but it's way different a lot of times. But like, if you were to ask somebody that doesn't play guitar, which I play guitar, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you the people that
influenced you.
I'm going to tell you but I'm going to tell you the people that if you don't play guitar, what people are going to say. They're going to say Jimi Hendrix,
Eddie Van Halen,
and if they've ever even delved deep into anything, it'll be like Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah,
because they're fast.
Because
he's fast.
It's always going to be Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen.
It's always going to be Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen.
Without even thinking, people just say.
Nobody's going to say like B.B. King.
Yeah.
Or
like I said Richie Blackmore. I don't know why more people don't say that. Like I do know why, because they haven't listened to enough Richie Blackmore, because it's unbelievable. It's at a level, and I know that he's a notorious dickhead, but you go grab 20 random Richie Blackmore songs from Rainbow, Deep Purple, even Blackmore's Nights, and tell me that dude's not. Yngwie Malmsteen will tell you the only guitar player that I feel influenced by is Richie Blackmore.
Okay, so I get it. I get that from you. Mm-hmm. And you aren't just you don't play guitar,
just a music nerd.
But you know a lot about music. Okay, so like there's this guitar magazine that I've always bought, and it actually taught me how to play guitar. This magazine taught me how to play guitar. And it's called Guitar World.
Yeah, of course.
They came out with the top 100 guitarists
recently
in January of 23, and I just came across the thing.
Where are my guys? Where are my 3 guys?
Do you want to guess who number 1 is?
Jimi Hendrix.
No. This is wacky to me. Now, great guitarist,
but it's their number 1.
Why? I don't know what's going on my phone.
Wait, so
it won't keep this.
So you're saying it's the number 1 and it's wacky?
It's wacky. It is wacky.
It's going to be something stupid, like it's going to be like when Apple came out and called Lauryn Hill the misunderstanding of whatever it is of Lauryn Hill. They said that's the number 1 album ever made in the history of albums.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Yeah, like what?
Oh, I said retarded.
You can't say retarded, dude.
I did. I don't mean it like in a bad way. Just like listening to a lot of that new Eminem album.
Who did they have? Did they have like is it like Ann Wilson or something?
It's Brian May.
Brian May's amazing.
They got him as number 1.
Who's Brian May's best friend?
I don't know.
Tony Iommi.
Okay.
Who does Brian May say is the best? Tony Iommi.
He was very like, really? I'm the number 1. Thank you.
Brian May from Queen. I mean, look, I've always said this when you get into these, but it's way deeper than that. That's
No. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because if you know anything about like how that shit works, there's a part in that where he goes like a step lower.
Yeah.
And it's like I know that back then. Now everybody does that, but like,
Back you
then
gotta
it was
look at like influence.
You got to know everything about that fretboard to make that.
And he's an astrophysicist.
What is going on with my
I'm going to say this though so whenever you get in these conversations, right, about who's the greatest lead singer, who's the greatest guitar player, who's the greatest bass player, I always, and especially with guitarists, I'll say this: there's about 30 that you can say, and all those answers are correct, right? There's 30 or so people that you could make, that if you understand music, you can make arguments for, because it's all subjective at some point of greatness, right? There's a level of greatness where you're like, okay, these, like if someone says Brian May, I go, I have him at like 11, but if you have him at 1, who am I to say that's not, Hendrix, maybe I've got it 7, but you've got it 1. Okay, you can make valid arguments for these people in the top 30, because what really makes them great is really just your ear, right? Or what you like. Now, we can say objectively, these 30, probably the top 30 on Guitar World's list, you could say these top 30 and
are the best.
And
you could just lump them all into one.
My 3 better be in the top 30 if they're not. Guitar World's crazy.
For some reason, I just keep getting a problem. Like there's just keeps being a problem.
But if but who's the best rhythm guitarist? For me, I think James Hetfield. For rhythm guitarist.
But he's a great lead guitar though too. He plays those solos too.
But he's the rhythm guitarist. And it's hard to say, I guess, but technically, I guess Mustaine's a rhythm guitarist, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, look. Yeah. Okay, look, listen. Here's the thing about Dave Mustaine, and when Marty Friedman was
He's so good.
Marty Friedman is better than Dave Mustaine.
Objectively or subjectively?
I know I just said that. I know I just said that. It's not factual, but here's the thing.
Dave Mustaine came in here and plugged in, he would blow your fucking mind.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit. Like if you could pan over here, I have like a couple of amps lined up the wall here. No shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Marty Friedman is a badass. Like here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you go listen to Countdown,
which I do.
If you had I had the tape. So you pull the tape out and you look at all. They had all the lyrics, and then it would say solo, and it would say Mustaine, and then it would say solo, and it would say Marty
Friedman,
or Friedman, and it's just like Marty Friedman had like a certain different attack.
Yeah, and that's
to his solo. Like they're both going, but like Marty Friedman to me, I enjoyed his solos better. Because of however they skewed my ear. I mean, I could probably go back and listen to them and tell you why.
I just know, so for Mustaine, it's not just the solos. To me, it's more about the riff is more important than the solo.
Oh well, you're gonna talk about writing riffs. Dave Mustaine's a badass. It's like
he's almost as good as Iommi.
It's like Iommi, Dimebag Darrell, Dave Mustaine, riff writing.
For riff writing, yeah.
Riff to riff.
These dudes are riff kings.
If you sat them down in a row and said, write a riff, they'd all come up with riffs that you just be like, man, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
What?
They amazing. Amazing.
Do you think Eric Clapton makes
He's so fucking so overrated. He's, I know, does that sound like a hater?
Here's a Rolling Stone. No. But he's good.
He's good. I just don't put him in like that.
Okay, here's Rolling Stones. And this comes from Rolling Stone, which...
It's number 1's Hendrix.
Yep.
Number 2, Eddie Van Halen.
Eric Clapton. Jimmy Page.
Because one dude made a sign that said, graffitied, Eric Clapton is God in 1968. We've all just accepted the narrative. That's how we are. That's how programmable we are.
Well, is this true or not? I think it's not true, which sucks because I love this idea. As they said... They asked Eric Clapton, what's it feel like to be the best guitar player in the world? And he said, well, I don't know. You'd have to go
Jeff Beck.
No, he said you have to go as Prince.
Prince, oh yeah. I thought it was Jeff Beck, who also, Jeff Beck is probably...
Well, Jeff Beck
is so good.
That's right.
Jeff Beck is another one. Beck is like Richie Blackmore. He's one of these guys that is an elite all-timer. Right. Like Jeff Beck's in my top 5, and he doesn't get mentioned by normies.
Did I say who 3 was? Jimmy Page.
3 is Jimmy Page.
Keith Richards. Jeff Beck. B.B. King, number 6. Chuck Berry, 7.
I like Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry innovated.
Give me the top 30. I want to see if they're...
Top 30.
Because I want to see if they could all have a case for the top 3.
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, 8. This is the top 10. Dwayne Allman.
Okay.
Definitely. Allman Brothers? I'd have to.
You just don't know shit about.
I don't know shit.
Greg Allman. What
I don't
the
know
fuck?
shit.
Like, yeah.
Okay, Dwayne Allman was born in Nashville, Tennessee.
Dwayne Allman's. Yeah, everybody's got.
On Christmas Day in 1960.
Everyone has a case so far for top 3 for sure.
Was given a motorcycle as a gift while his younger brother Greg Allman got a guitar. A few months later, Dwayne wrecked his motorcycle in an accident, but traded in the spare parts for a guitar of his own.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I know all of it.
Pete Townshend's number 10. So that's the top 10.
Yeah.
You know who number 11 is?
Who?
George Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, the Beatles wrote a lot of great tunes. You got to write the tunes. You got to, and then he was playing guitar on those tunes that are.
Here's one of my top 5. Stevie Ray Vaughan, number 12.
Yeah.
Top 5. I mean, he's got to be in my top.
All these. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna go. I want you to go through 30 because real quick because
I am. Okay, so 12.
They all have a case so far. Everyone's great so far.
13's Albert King. David Gilmour.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Freddie King.
Yes.
Yep. Derek Trucks.
Oh my God! Yes. Hell yes.
Oh,
yeah, Derek.
shit.
You just don't know anything about Southern rock.
I don't.
Nothing. Those dudes are amazing.
Neil Young.
Okay.
17.
I don't think I would not.
I don't think he's a great guitar
I
player.
don't think you've got a good
What
argument.
is this? A songwriter?
I don't think.
I mean, he's a good songwriter. I wouldn't say he's a great guitar player. I probably play better. I think I probably play better.
You can see how wild this is skewed because we're at 17 and we haven't got any of my 3. Which
No.
Definitely.
18 is Les Paul.
Okay. You got to put him in there. Yeah.
James Burton.
Okay. Elvis.
Carlos Santana.
Elvis is guitar player.
Yeah.
James Burton. Yeah.
Carlos Santana's 20. Okay. So we've got 10 and 20 now. Carlos making the top 20.
Okay.
Chet Atkins.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Frank Zappa.
Yes.
Yes. Buddy Guy.
Yes.
This is a nostalgia one. This is a nostalgia list.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone's gonna be in nostalgia.
But they're right so far.
Angus Young.
Coming
in at number 25 is your boy Tony Iommi.
Okay, yeah. So I said the top 30 would. It's just a matter. Like I could make cases for my 3. Just like you wouldn't even. Greg Allman wouldn't even enter your mind, but he entered my mind quickly. He'd be in my top 10, but you wouldn't even. You'd go to 100 people before you'd never even think of Greg Allman.
I never even thought of Greg Allman.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I gotta get
Prodigy.
into that. I gotta get into that.
Yeah.
So top 25 ends with Tony Iommi. All right, then Brian May, 26.
Okay, 26.
So he's number 1 on Guitar World magazine.
So 30. That's what I say.
Bo Diddley. Yes, of course.
You tell me no Richie Blackmore yet? That is so fucking crazy.
Here's one for you in the top 30 is Johnny Ramone. I mean,
Johnny Ramone. If Johnny Ramone's better than Richie Blackmore, I'll eat your shoe though. Like on air, eat your shoe. Is Blackmore not in the top 30?
29, Scotty Moore.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
I think he was with Elvis.
Drugstore Cowboy.
No.
Girls, 1962. He died on 28th of June in 2016 in Nashville. Scotty Moore, The Departed.
Okay, and who's 30?
Elmore James is 30, The Blues Brothers.
Elmore James from the Blues Brothers is better than Richie Blackmore. See,
yes.
First of all, but there's only 3 that I have exception with.
This is
and I'm okay with Mustaine.
Rolling Stone is a nostalgia.
No Mustaine, no Dimebag in the top 30.
Dimebag's in the top 30.
Iommi at 25 and Brian May at 26. They're just the top 30.
Rolling Stone's out of their damn minds. Billy Gibbons comes in at 32. I mean, and Prince comes in at 33. You're going to tell me that Prince is one less than Billy? No, Billy Gibbons
is good.
Is this a guitar playing thing or a songwriting thing? It says Rolling Stone's 100 greatest guitarists of all time. That is a broad statement, I think.
Yeah, I think you got to look at next. Maybe we'll. I think Blackmore gets left off the list because he's such an asshole. But that should not disqualify you for your playing.
Hold on, let me look at this one. I'll put greatest lead guitarists.
But most of that list was pretty solid. I mean, some of it gets a little funky when you're like, come on, like.
I hope that I wanted to read the Guitar World one because I thought it was because Guitar World magazine is the guitar magazine.
Yeah, it's what
the past 50 years.
It's what they do.
It's
what they know.
No.
Yeah.
And they give Brian May the number one spot, and it just get like for some reason I don't know why it glitches out.
But you can like I say, I just think maybe even you could say even the top. You could take 40 guys, and there's just all those guys are at such a level of greatness and have achieved such success that you could say, I think this guy's better than that guy. I think Dwayne Allman's better than Brian May. I think
I'm gonna have to go to Chat GPT and have it look it up and give me the list. So,
all right, well, we'll look that up for the next episode.
You want to do the next episode? You want to we'll delve into guitarists.
Yeah, we'll talk guitarists and singers again. That's always fun. I love that.
I love it too.
Let's do it again. All right, we'll see y'all later.
Peace.
Bye.